Hi guys, over the past 2 months I was working on this spread and I finally got it absolutely right and it's really functioning unbelievably well. This is for the people who basically want to find out if there is a possibility of reunion and if they should actually go with their exes, what is going on in their heads, if this is a wise idea, etc., etc., etc. It kind of like will describe sort of the past situation that brought you to this basically question what is currently going on in their heads, in your heads, and also near and far future. So let me introduce you the cards that actually I picked. This took a while to find the right combination. So I'm calling the spread Cat Tarot Nose Spread. So you can only see it here. So the first actually card that I have is the Magician. The reason that I picked this one first, one is a number one in numerology. And when you have number one, this is basically beginning. Also, the Magician is a card of sort of starting on a new journey, just to see if you have all the tools available to go in this new relationship and if that can create this chemistry. And also because it's a number one, what are the thoughts on a new beginning? The second card I took here is a Temperance reversed. And it's purposely reversed because here it means merging two opposites, but here it means two opposites or two different kind of entities are not merged, which is basically what is bringing you to this question because you really want to know why things didn't work out and what went wrong. Maybe that was not communicated to you, maybe you didn't communicate it, maybe you didn't even recognize it in you, but this is what went wrong. So this is a significator for the ladies. This is, and I took Queen of Wands. Please don't go into this horoscope signs. Frankly, I'm so tired of reading horoscope signs in cards because like every card is like archetype, and this is like the sexy archetype that is like charging, and she wants her man, she wants her mate. This doesn't have to be necessarily a woman. So either you're man or female, this is basically who you are, and the other person is going to represent your partner. For the guys, it's going to be the awkward kind of things around, but also keep in mind, because I'm getting here energies not only for all of you who are actually listening to this, the subscribers that I'm connecting, but I'm also getting the energy of that one more person and all these exes that you're bringing to the table. So I need to kind of like find it more generic, so this can be switched. So you have to figure out if this person is more this or this, which one is you. Then we have Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is a communication cards and things being up in the air. Basically, simply I want to see over this timeline how the communication went and if that was the problem. Then we have another significator of that person. So I said like that they're interchangeable. You have to find out if that is like the guy you're inquiring about or if this is you. And again, I took a King of Wands, again, charisma, passion, because that's what we get attracted to. And obviously, if we are considering reunion or we are still thinking about somebody in the past, this is what is holding us basically captive in our thoughts. Then we have a card of Judgment. So this is card very difficult for many of people to understand. So we kind of like see the angel coming trumpeting, basically freedom, and everybody's kind of raising from the dead. So obviously this is talking about if our life was well lived, if we learned the lessons and what lessons we had to learn. So in this particular case is how that other party sees the past and sees basically how they contributed to the things that happened and what was going on in their head, right? Sometimes you get really surprised when you kind of feel you are the wrong one, and then you find out from them they feel they're the wrong one. And lastly, I took a Four of Wands, which kind of can be reunion, can be celebration, but keep in mind that many people are talking about this card as a marriage, which also can be, but in this particular case, significator here is what are the thoughts of reunion? Is reunion in the store, and even if it's wise? So basically, we have this 7 cards, which is kind of like really spiritual number. Also, if you look the numbers, like 1 plus 14 is like 15, and 8, 23, 53, and 4, 57, it is 12, it's 3, it's like something with this yellow, 3 is connected to this yellow, and as you see, I kind of picked the yellows because this is kind of uplifting sun color, and I wanted to see what basically stands behind it. So this is the intro, guys, and so what I'm considering right now every month to have that as well, or at the very least give it a try for Venus retrograde and see how it goes sign by sign. Okay, so this is enough for the intro, so let's start with reading. I just want to add that this spread is available for private reading, and in that case, like you really know who are the significators, we are going to assign to significators their birth date and their names, and we are going to be able to move forward with extremely specific energy. So for those of you who are wondering if the reunion is going to happen, or what you have to look for, what are the best words to use, etc. This is a great spread. And definitely you can ask when you're ordering that to be included in your reading or to be the feature of your reading, because then I can do it with tarot cards and I can do with Versibila cards, and we can go a few crosses just to make sure that we got all these finesses right. And again, for private reading, check my website, cattarot.ca, and I'm taking bookings right now. You have chunks of 20, 40, or 60 minutes, and I'm looking forward to actually hearing back from you. For now, let me start doing the sample readings so that way you can actually see what to expect. Thanks. Love you guys. Hi, Aquarius. So let's do the reading for you first. So again, the first position here, the Magician, we'll talk about chemistry and tools for this union and current, basically, or the thoughts in that time period for this particular union. So what do we have here? King of Swords. So your chosen person is still thinking about it, but in a very logical kind of like way. So this sword can go back and forth like a gable, making a decision. So it's somebody who is very fair. So if there is a possibility for reunion, it is a possibility. So now we are looking at the past things, or maybe in the past you have been coming back and forth a few times, and that kind of like was accepted. So Temperance reversed over here plays because I wanted to see what went wrong. Temperance in general talks about two different things mashing together, and since that they were not kind of glued, or they were not glued properly, I want to see what is behind it. So we have Hanged Man reversed. Somebody jumped out from, let's say, the frying pan. So in this relationship, somebody just had enough, it sounds like, and somebody even looked at things from a different position, and it was not getting anywhere even with that. So it kind of was the time to discharge and just like go off. Queen of Wands, so that's your significator, at least one of the significators. It just talks about your desires, passions, and actually talks mostly how that partner sees you. Oh, we got the Empress. So the guy or woman you're inquiring are seeing you as that ultimate nurturing person who can actually provide them everything from home to love to basically every pleasure they can desire. So that right away gives you a flavor of the reading. That's how you have been seeing in the past. So let's see what's going on. The communications in the past was pretty good. Like you had this vision for the future in this relationship. So like look, we have the 2 3s together, and the whole kind of like front row adds to 3. So let's see about him. He kind of envisioned in this relationship also everything. Again, so you can tell that your mate is really heavily hooked on you. So even if you're the ones who left, or he's the one who left, we'll have to find the reasons what happened there. It looks like, according to Hangman, it could have been the arguments, but let's see the Judgment, because that's another card that I picked to give me indication of what basically happened. And that's going to tell us about all these problems that happened in the past that have been kind of like raised. So, Wheel of Fortune. So, what happened in the past? Things are continuously going from really good to really bad. So again, Hangman and that, right? It's the same thing, right? You're going from being stuck in the situation, like that kind of whole situation being imposed on you, to you kind of like can find a way out of it, but you're still self-imposing this punishment, to this is kind of spinning around all the time. And this is really showing the fixed signs, meaning whatever happens, but it can kind of like turn on a like spur of the moment, it can kind of turn off. So it could be that you had like a really good day and then a bad day. Maybe sometimes even that hourly, like the moods were changing and kind of like things finally fell off. And as far as the reunion or some kind of like getting together in the past, here, somebody lacked the commitment, right? It's a commitment. This can also mean three-party, or somebody got really tired of a three-party kind of thing. So that's the past, Aquarius. So let's see, where are we in like at the present? Because right now, I don't know, some of you maybe are communicating, some of you are not communicating. So let's find out where we are in these categories. So as far as this kind of like new beginnings and the tools, it looks like that somebody is like removing a blindfold, right? So here's the person who actually is not tied up. Like here, if you look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There is no ninth sword behind her. She kind of is tied up, but look, this is so loose. Just by walking, she can actually walk out of the situation. And it sounds like somebody didn't walk out of some situation which was required. All that logic, all this processing was not good enough to find out. So the person, sorry, here the person didn't walk out, but here, like things are falling off because now the gravity is just going to remove basically things down and the blindfold will fall. So this person is going to start kind of like seeing things. So again, this is almost the same as Hanged Man. It looks like this was something really important here, like almost karmic, because, you know, like cards are kind of like keep coming, telling the same story. So let's see again, like what is the overall thought of why this union didn't work out. Yeah, this union brought a whole bunch of sadness, right? So this is like somebody felt nothing can be done here. Like every stone has been turned and like all the cups got spilled. And this kind of created a big sorrow, or this can also be a card of feeling not being a chosen one if it was a three kind of like party situation. So let's see again how he or she kind of like sees you at present. Wow. This can mean two things. This can mean they want to see you being back in their life, or they're thinking about like getting you back in their life, or they're also thinking that you are the one who has to make that choice. So let's see about the communication. Well, right now, it doesn't look like there is communication, or if there is, it's highly guarded. Look, even in this position, this person is keeping this little pentacle over his heart, and looks like, you know, everybody's like to themselves, like still kind of being burned from the situation, not caring about anything that has been left behind. So that's the current situation, and let's see how he sees himself. He sees himself will burn out, and it's a major arcana, just like he sees you. So again, it's confirming me this kind of relationship was very important. Maybe just like for your own karmic path, or maybe just as a relationship. So let's see the judgment. Like now, after the dust settled, where are we? That's right. So it was really, really painful. So we had it here, and now we are having like, so both past issues are still present in both of your minds. And this is why nobody's communicating, because you feel you're just going to blur it out, all these like bad things that happen, and keep basically judging each other, you know, because the blindfold is just getting off. So nobody's really communicating, or if you're communicating, this is like on a very, very shallow level. So let's see the thoughts about reunion. Well, they're just thoughts, but they're not really deep thoughts. Like sort of like here in the past, it was like thought process, logical thought process. Should I not? Oh, he did that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he did his bad things, he did his good things. Well, the bad things win. But now this is getting on more intuitive level. And this is kind of like more looking into things deeper, because this is kind of like guiding with the secrets and intuitions. So this is what is happening at present. So now let's look at near future. So we are talking about, let's say, the next month period. So for this kind of like new beginning and setting out, kind of like building new grounds, we have Page of Pentacles. Well, it is promising, but it's extremely slow moving. So it would tell me that you might open kind of like channels of communication, but like, I mean, this kind of like pain would still linger around. But in a sense, you might want just to see if this person has good qualities, because Pentacles are talking about building things slowly and seeing how they actually work and go from there, right? So let's see, like, I mean, the thoughts about what could have been repaired, what went wrong, right? So again, the thoughts on thoughts are just thoughts. Like, both of you feel that you have to wise up. Both of you feel it was foolish behavior, that kind of like it was a lot of passion involved, and that passion just like got spilled like a spilled milk and caused lots of pain, because both of you wanted to love each other and ended up basically arguing and almost like exhibiting hate behavior. Okay, again, how he will perceive you in about, or she will perceive you in about a month time. Well, this can mean two things. Either that you're taking the entire situation for granted, or that whatever he offers is not going to be taken. And that kind of goes, again, being guarded here. So again, you have another 4, somebody who is highly guarding. But it is at this stage becoming emotional component. Here it was like more like, you know, I need to ground myself, etc. This can also mean that somebody is maybe going through their own restructuring of their lives. Maybe their finances have to get in order, because we have 3 and then we have 4. It's still kind of growing. So let's see what happens after this kind of guarded kind of like communications. Oh, it's 5 of Cups. So we are getting one step ahead, but we are going from bad to kind of like really being exposed. I guess communication has to kind of like completely face its demons. And in this card, we have 2 people who kind of are just walking by a warm place, a church. And we know the church door is always open. They actually can get in, but they're not getting in. But there are 2 of them. So this can be 2 of you guys that both of you felt injured in this relationship. Look. And one person is still felt like it was more of a support for the other one. In this case, can mean 2 things. One, that this window from before is now becoming a door, and then you're seeing this as a possibility of getting in. And also can mean that now the friendship is lost as well, because of the distance being placed between the 2 of you, that right now like you feel everything is lost. It's like just really not worth it, and nobody really even wants to go there, kind of like very self-protective. So let's see where he is in a month from now. He is ready to charge. He is becoming his passionate again, and this is basically ready for a new beginning in about 1 time. So we went from the Sun to this, and that kind of makes sense, because from the 10, which is the ending, we are going to the beginning, and this is also beginning. And so this raw is showing there is still emotional component, which has to be. Obviously, somebody wouldn't be drawn to go back in a relationship if there is no emotional component, especially of pain. And this also came right after Lovers card. And so basically here we are. He is ready. And look at it. He's expecting happiness, and he's expecting like the home, just like here. These are like, look, major arcana, major arcana, major arcana, and then 10, which is like a 1. It's like kind of like really completion of a stage. Okay, so let's see in a month from now how will these past events appear. You see, it's still going to be a doubt about how they were handled, and if basically they should be approached. And that can be either of you, because, right, like there's equal weight on both parts. It's like equal weight for plus and equal weight for minus. And that's also heavily influenced with this card, the 10 of Swords. But, you know, it's better than this. This is kind of like, look, it's really like, I mean, hey, the light's out. But the good news here is like, look, now you can only go up. The day is like getting reborn again. And look, here you had the 10. Then we have like 2 10s, like 20, 10, and 10. So if nothing else, this is actually better than this, because it means you're coming around able to think. And both of these cards are like kind of thinking cards. So let's see thoughts about reunion in about a month from now. whoa, there is a really good possibility. Look, we have passion and we have emotion. So it looks like this thinking is going to end up to be emotional in the end. So let's check 3 months from now. And actually in the future, what I will do like this level for free, and then I'm going to add 3 and 6 months. And I'm going to demonstrate how this is going to look like in Vimeo for like $2 or $3 a month or something. So there we go. Let's see what's going to happen in 2 months over here. Strength. New beginning. You need the strength to start something new. But look, we have yellow corners again. Yellow is my favorite color. You can tell, right, that I'm surrounding myself with yellow because it's the sun color. We cannot survive on this planet without the sun. And this is also infinity. You'll have to have infinite patience. Look, I mean, this is conquering the problem without arguments, and you had arguments in the past. So now, like, I mean, both of you are wondering, how do you re-enter without these arguments? Or maybe some communication has been done here, or you're feeling that energy. So let's see if we did get wiser, like, I mean, about thoughts, about what can be glued, because this is showing we have a strength. Well, what we think is like we have to go sort of basic. We have to kind of like start all over again, dating, enjoying food, small gifts given to each other, kind of like enjoying small little luxury things, and kind of like just really be nice to each other, like enjoy what life can offer. This is really the ultimate card of dating, an ultimate card of a guy or a woman who's going to be the perfect mate. And it's like one of the subset of the Empress, right? It's one of the subsets of the Sun. And again, it's the yellow, right? It's kind of like that strong grounding card. So let's see how basically is this process happening about him coming to you, right? Well, here it looks like that he feels you're not really doing it. Like the balls are down on the air, and he kind of like feels that you guys feel that he has to do all the work, right? Because the emotions are kind of like upside down. So it looks like for the ladies, like you understand that you were everything that you could have been, that you can actually make this person, or sorry, for everybody, for Aquarians, that you felt you can give every nourishment that is needed and love that is desired. But you know, if this is taken for granted, you're like you're charging out. That's it. Like, you know, you are, like, we Aquarians are known for that. We are going to be the best people we can be, but if you do something to us, then we are out, and it's very rare that we are looking back. So communication. Well, there will be communication. So we're talking about 2 months from now. So that's talking about end of April, early May. And that's after realizing how basically, that's after seeing things from a different perspective and looking, like, I mean, plus and minuses of it. And see, as for him, again, wow, he has a third sword. He really is getting it. It looks like, you know, that this lack of energy to burn out, and the sadness and being guarded and not knowing where to go, right? And then like this sadness again, being stuck. It could be that your mate has been stuck in a different situation, which couldn't be resolved as simple as just saying so. It could be like the third party, as we've seen here, which kind of took a lots of modifications. There could be children involved, because all of a sudden, like, we are seeing like three basically aces, like something is happening, and this is happening with Wheel of Fortune, which is basically start, and this is ending and start at the same time. So this is obviously, like, I mean, a huge movement forward. So let's see how, you see right now, in 2 months from now, what basically is going to be seen as a past is like, well, this is what happened, ridiculous turbulence. And now you're going to see it as, well, it happened for a reason. We both had to realize how important this was, right? So no worries about this, because in the future, there are going to be thoughts about the past. And lastly, let's see about the reunion. 9 of Wands reversed. Well, this is in this position, meaning, you know, I did kind of like invest into it, right? It's right after this 8. And now I'm going to just take a break before I finalize this. So 9 and 10, right? Again, finishing. But this way, you're not sure you want it. Right? So now everything is offered to you, ladies, but Aquarians sometimes think that they have to get things faster and very fast, and that's why we are like a sword suit, and there are swords here, and kind of like maybe things didn't happen fast enough, even though I see your partner had the passion. Like, look, it was just growing and offering. I honestly have a feeling here that you guys are going to be the ones who will love to hear these words, who will welcome partner coming back. You will try to build some kind of friendship, but ultimately, you're going to start wondering if this person can bring you this happiness. You will give them a chance, but maybe the ghost from the past will come back, and that's going to put you back into wondering if that should be left in the past. It's okay. And let's do one more month. In 3 months, well, the new beginning look really promising. You have a wish card. So whatever you actually decided here, that wish will come true. So as far as this particular union, again, justice. Whatever is fair is going to happen. As far as how you're being seen, you're going to be seen as you do not want to play with them. You do not want to be their knight in shining armor. As I told you here, that's I have seen that already. We are now going back. Then communication. Yeah. You see, it's still going to be unresolved for someone. The world this way is still stuck on this relationship. But it looks to me it will be them. And let's see. Them, yeah. Look, they want to charge forward. Look at this situation. They are charging forward toward Aquarius. But Aquarius is charging ahead. She's just like running away. No, 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 no. So the judgment altogether, yeah, it was just too hard, dude. Like, I mean, yeah, it shouldn't be that difficult. I love you, but maybe there's something inside of me. So let me drop this burden and move ahead, maybe with somebody else. Look, what is again interesting, 8, 9, and 10. The completion is happening. Look at this 9, 8. Everything is like in the last stages. Like, so basically now in the past there were 3s, and now like there are 6s, and then we are getting into 9s and 10s, which means it's all going to revolve. And again, somebody's walking away. Reunion? No, guys. You guys are walking away. Because obviously you loved what it was in these cups, but that was not good enough for you. So, Aquarius, maybe this is not what you wanted to hear, but it's a good news because you are evolving and you are kind of like getting rid of energy that you didn't feel was vibing with you properly, and it's a really good thing altogether. So, tell me how you like this reading, and tell me if you would like me to continue with these readings in the future. Thanks and love you.